Listening in here on Between Us, Jaiden and Lindsay, they spill the tea. Laughter, tears, unscripted reality. Between us, life's a wild ride. Between us, no secrets inside. Yeah, it's time for Between Us. Come on, it's time for Between Us.
Welcome to another episode of Between Us. We have a special guest this week.
Two special guests,
Robin and Nick. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for coming. Right off the top, be sure to subscribe. And if you wait till the end, you might see me get my first tattoo.
We'll see.
So you'll have to wait till the end to see. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you guys meet? All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. We met in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
What high school did you go to?
Taylorsville.
Really?
Yeah,
Where's that?
in Taylorsville.
Oh, where's Taylorsville?
It's like up kind of by Salt Lake.
Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
a
In
suburb
Between
of
West
Salt
Jordan,
Lake.
Kearns, South Jordan,
Oh, okay.
Murray.
So what
Yeah.
brought you down to American Fork?
So Nick works for Saratoga Springs Fire Department,
Oh, wow.
and when
You're a firefighter?
Yeah.
No
That's
way.
awesome.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Firefighter.
Yeah.
You're a hero.
Oh, no.
Man.
I wouldn't
yes.
say that. I wouldn't say that. I like my job. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
that's cool.
I have to tell Fletch. He'll be so excited.
Yes.
Okay.
he'll have to come take a ride in the.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
I would
Please
love
do.
that.
I love giving rides to kids.
That's
It's
cool.
Yeah.
So what fire department are you with now?
fun. Saratoga Springs.
It is
so,
Saratoga. Okay.
Yeah. I said I would move south, but not west, because no offense to Saratoga, but it's just, it's so
it's
far away
far.
from the
Oh, it's
freeway.
far.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
And all the
Like-
lights. It takes really long to get out.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just, funny enough, reading that the state of Utah approved a $1.4 billion expansion for like Pioneer Crossing. What was the other exit?
Oh, yeah. Mountain View Corridor.
Yeah, all of those. So
Yeah.
they're turning that into like a full-fledged freeway.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll
now,
probably
so
be
that will
good.
help.
That's probably.
But that was the same with us. I was like, when we were looking for a house, I was like, I can't do Eagle Mountain. I can't
Yeah.
do Saratoga.
Yeah.
Like,
It's far.
yeah.
It's far.
So what is your schedule like? I know as a firefighter, you do like some days on, some days off, right?
Yeah, so usually I work 2 full days, and then I
Okay.
have 4 days off. So
Whoa.
48 on, 96 off.
And you have to sleep at the fire department, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. If I get sleep, yeah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes
yeah,
we
true.
don't get much sleep at all. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like another family essentially. So it's like we cook, we sleep, we have family time in a way, right? After
Yeah.
dinner,
Yeah.
like so. We try and work as hard as we can during the day, and then after dinner, it's like kind of our time to be us. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
And is it like the movies?
Like
Where-
what movie you talking?
I'm trying to remember the movie.
Like Backdraft or something?
Yeah, where they like haze the new guy. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
It
there's a
is.
bunch of pranks.
Yeah,
you
there
know?
can be for sure.
Okay.
I'm definitely not a pranker because
Okay.
like I know if I do it, it's going to come back on me.
Right.
Smart.
But yeah, we definitely give new guys a hard time sometimes. Or
Yeah.
there's kind of like it's like a military-esque type
Yeah.
setting. So like the new guy comes and he's kind of, hey, you got to like be at first to clean. You got to try and cook. You got to like.
He cleans the toilets.
Yeah,
Which is-
like try
Yes.
that. Well, I'm not saying that we don't, but
Right.
like,
Yeah.
we just expect to like, hey, like if you're coming in here to our house, you got to prove that you're willing to be here.
Wow.
So
It's funny enough, like both of our careers have that military
That is
vibe
true.
that like has held on till today.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah. with
I've
The
got to say
Apprentice.
something.
What?
I'm scared of tattoo artists.
But not me, right?
No.
I mean, like,
when Lindsay was
don't-
like, so the connection here, right, is Lindsay got a tattoo from Robin.
So I follow her, and she was asking for help with social media. I said, "Oh, my husband does social media stuff," so they got connected.
And Lindsay's like, she did my tattoo, so she's a tattoo artist. And I was like, oh no. I don't know about that one. And I was like, I'll check it out and see. Because I just feel like it's like, they're intense. You know, and it's like,
The intimidation factor.
It is kind of intimidating.
yeah, and like, I don't know, they seem scary. Like,
Although I will say the place that you work at, Hearts and Hands, is
you have said this,
probably my favorite tattoo shop I've been in because I feel like the vibe's just very chill there, and I like all the artists there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I mean-
I've been around tattoo artists where they're like very on edge and like very short. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's just like
Yeah.
no bull crap, you know. And I don't do well with that.
Like,
Yeah.
have you been around that many tattoo artists if you have no tattoos?
So
wondering.
funny enough,
I know, right?
funny enough, my dad is covered.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Really?
from the neck down.
no way.
Yeah, so he has
So
sleeves.
were you like in
legs.
shops while he was getting that?
Yeah,
done?
and he would actually fly his tattoo artists in.
She was
Whoa.
doing them in their garage. That's
Wow.
a no-no.
No, in our living room.
Well, still a
Okay.
no-no.
But he would fly her in for like a week. And she would
Whoa.
stay at her house and he would get like 20 people to come and get tattoos from her. And she like
Oh, wow.
is this renowned, she does ocean scenes. Is
Okay.
like her like niche. But that happened like tons, right? And he would do a lot of trade for his tattoos. Like I remember he traded like a barber chair for one of his tattoos or something. And like, so I grew up around that like scene,
Okay.
you know. And I went to like Sturgis. I don't know if you know what that is,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
I've heard
motorcycle
Sturgis.
rally, right? And like
Okay.
they're giving out tattoos in like the gutter there, and like you know. So I've been around it, and then but I just never got one, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But I remember she would like draw fake ones on us. Be like, what do you want? And would like do the whole process
That's
with
so
like
cute.
a stencil and whatnot, you know. So and the neighbor kids would come, and then their parents would be mad. So yeah, I've been around it, but yeah, and every time I'm around, I'm like, this is too intense.
So were
man.
you like traumatized from watching your dad get tattooed? Like, do you feel
It
like that
was-
plays a part in like you never?
It only happens
wanting?
when Nora Jones starts playing. I don't know if you know that artist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every time he got
It
tattooed,
seems a little opposite of the vibes
I
of
know,
a tattoo shop,
right?
but
Yeah.
every time he'd get tattooed, he'd turn on Nora Jones on the TV, like a DVD, Nora Jones. So anytime I hear Nora Jones, I'm like, it just takes me back to like. And then after the fact, my dad would always be like, he called me Bubba. So he'd be like, Bubba, come here. I can't get this because he'd be so itchy, you know? So
yeah.
yeah, I've been around it a little bit. So, and then Lindsay, when did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo 2022 maybe. And I've gotten quite a few, but they're small. Like I have a lot of small ones. You did the one on my calf.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a lot. Like I started with like just script ones, you know. And that was my first one. This one right here. So, but yeah, I have a good amount right now.
But that's kind of frowned upon too, right?
Right. So I, you know, I'm not like, obviously when I started getting into tattoos, I don't know much about tattoos, you know? So now I feel like I've followed a lot of people. I've like my whole For You page on Instagram is like tattoo ideas. But I feel like there's kind of like a controversy a little bit with like the fine line artist versus like a tattoo shop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
There's like an
yeah,
unspoken battle waged.
Yeah. I would say it's not necessarily between fine line artists and
Okay.
tattoo artists because fine line artists are tattoo artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the battle is between actually learning how to tattoo legitimately and going through that process and taking a weekend course
Right.
and claiming to be a fine line artist.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
where it gets tricky because in Utah and in a lot of states it's actually kind of crazy because if you want to become a tattoo artist, you could just basically decide, I'm going to start tattooing tomorrow.
No way.
You can take a bloodborne pathogens test online and like that's all the certification like
Really?
you need for Utah County. You
Jeez.
don't need a license. You don't have to prove that you've had any training.
So you don't have to do like a apprenticeship for a certain amount of time. There's no
No.
like set.
No, like the apprenticeship is literally just
For
if
you
you
to
want to
learn.
be, if you want to actually be a good artist and
Yeah.
like learn and
Yeah.
do it the right way, then you'll go
Right.
about it that way. Otherwise it's not like they're not doing anything illegal, but that's part of the problem, and that's why it's
Right.
so prevalent.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of salons are just like,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Wow.
why don't you start tattooing?
Yeah.
And like,
It's almost kind of become like its own MLM type thing, you know,
for sure.
where they'll start a business, they'll start tattooing, and then they're like, oh, well, I can teach other people how to tattoo, and then they'll like create like a course or a weekend like crash course, basically, where they have all these people come in and learn, and then those
Yeah.
people go out, and then all of a sudden these people feel like they can teach other people. So I just feel like it's
Which-
kind of
But how do you learn to tattoo in a weekend?
You like when
How?
I tell you I feel like my apprenticeship was like kind of short. Like it ended kind of abruptly. I think I just grew a lot, and I feel like I worked hard, but mine was still almost, it was like a year and 8 months.
Oh wow.
So it was almost 2 years, and when I finished, I still feel like am I really like
right.
grown up enough to do this on my own?
Yeah.
Like it's so hard. It is like
Wow.
the hardest skill. I'm shocked. Like even still today, I still have moments where I'm like, whoa, I feel like I don't know how to tattoo, because there's the circumstances surrounding the tattoo just can change
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
And it's an incredibly difficult skill. I've done a lot of art in my life, and tattooing is by far the hardest thing I've
Really?
ever done. Oh yeah, like 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
She'll still come home and like just be like, "Ugh, I don't know if I've like succeeded in that tattoo the way
Really?
I wanted it to be," and like I'm looking at it like
Really?
great.
that thing like blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see your stuff and I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
it's legendary,
And
right?
you got
just-
first place in that
Yeah.
competition.
Yes, Robin just won first place.
In my category, yes.
She won first place.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, I think people like to get rich quick, you know, and I think that's
Yeah.
one of the ways they're like, oh, I can buy a thing off Amazon and do this course and be like tattooing, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it's also not easy to like get an apprenticeship.
Right.
It can be like you have to put a lot of work in, and even if you do the work to get your portfolio ready, you have to walk into a shop at the right time, the right place when they're ready to take someone on.
yeah.
And it's just like people look for apprenticeships for years. So it's not, I can see also the other side, like why people would choose not to go that way.
Right.
But I think it's just like because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know really what they're doing or how hard it is or
Yeah.
what the risks are. Like they're not, educated.
Yeah.
enough.
Do you guys, or like, do you ever see someone's tattoo on Instagram?
Or
them
in person
tattooing,
when they come in to get a tattoo.
and you're like, whoa, what happened here?
Yeah, I do. And I feel like even when I'm at like Lagoon or just walking around anywhere, I'm like, sometimes I'm embarrassed for my profession because I'm like, I feel like it's almost as high as like 80% of the tattoos that I see that
Really?
I'm like, oh, that's
Wow.
not very good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know it's bad too when I can see it and I'm like,
I'm
"Ooh,
like,
did
whoa."
you see that?" And she's
like,
like, oh, I already
okay,
caught that one a
yeah.
while ago.
I know it does
It's-
ruin you when you become like an expert, right? And you hate even
Anything
calling
else,
yourself that, but
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
me as like a marketing professional, like every Instagram post I see, I'm like, ugh, you know, or like a business website, I'm like, what are they doing? And it like
Yeah.
drives me crazy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But people don't know what they don't know,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
that's the thing I found, especially like
Especially if you're getting a tattoo
Yeah.
and like you're new to it, I guess you don't really know, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a difference in
Right.
artists. and-
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
But you don't have any tattoos,
I
right?
don't. Yeah, no. I've like been debating on it for ever since Rob became a tattoo artist, and I'm just like, I don't know what I want.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I'm a little
And it's
picky.
permanent.
We have
so.
plans.
Yeah, I have a plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Well, you
kind of
know
like
it's gonna be the
like,
best
Sorry, I
tattoo.
keep hitting this, but
You're
I
good.
have like there's like a framed traditional tattoo look.
Okay.
So I like that, but I don't know what I want in the middle of the frames. So I'm
That's
like,
something big.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is big.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I've always said, like, if I want to get a tattoo, it's like I got to go all out.
Yeah.
I don't want just like one tattoo.
Right.
It would have to be something
Yeah.
that goes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. I keep.
Jaiden's a big baby.
Wow. Okay.
Like his pain tolerance, he won't get massages. Like
yeah, I feel like they would
is-
do like one line, and I'd be like,
Is that what's stopping
yeah,
you?
I think
I'd be
that's
like,
what's
keep the
stopping him.
deposit. You know, I'd be
And
like,
his anxiety
keep
is like
everything.
through
I'll
the
pay
roof.
you still, but I cannot let you continue.
Like which do you think is worse? Like committing to an idea or the pain?
The pain.
Really?
Jaiden
Wow.
actually sent
Yeah.
me
That's surprising.
Yeah.
a matching tattoo idea that I really want to do, but I just don't know if Jaiden could do it. So I might just.
what's the idea?
It's a song. What's the song?
Let's just keep.
It's the song that's like, if I die, will you
No.
die? How does it go?
Just move on.
How does it go?
I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, well. It was really cute.
Do you know who System of a Down is?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Dang it. Okay, I'll tell you then.
I don't know all their songs.
Yeah,
I know the main
It's
So-
like one of their main
One of their
songs.
main ones, and he says, "If I die, I want to go with you." No,
I want to die too.
just move on.
It's something along those lines. But it's like, if I die, I want to die too. And then the other one says, like, if I go, will you go too? Or something like that.
Okay.
That's a pretty
Cute.
good idea.
Yeah,
It'll happen one day.
Yeah.
but yeah, I just think I
You
don't
would
know
totally make it through that though. Like it's just a little
because I've looked into
Yeah.
where they can like bring in an anesthesiologist
No.
and like I
Don't.
can be asleep, and I know that
That would be so
Tattoo artists are like,
expensive.
You're
it's about the journey. But I'm like, I just want to get to the peak, you know?
You would be
I'll take the helicopter
so
ride.
overpaying, especially for a little script. It's
Yeah.
that's easy.
I love tattoos.
Easy
I love
breezy.
getting them.
Yeah. And I don't want the whole podcast to be about tattoos. So
Okay.
we'll
Yeah,
end the
we can-
tattoo
Okay.
talk
Okay.
with this, okay?
Okay.
If each of us were a tattoo style, what style would we be?
Okay.
So this is kind of like a personality test with you being the expert, okay?
Oh, is she? But is she supposed to tell us? Or
Yes.
Oh,
Just from
Oh,
what she
no.
knows about us and like the
I'm
vibes.
really interested in this one.
Yeah. I knew this would be good.
Yeah.
So
This is way too much pressure.
let's
No,
start with
come
Nick. What tattoo style is he? Not saying like that's the tattoo style he will get, but just like his vibe.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pressure's on because now it's like, that's what I'm going to get.
Right.
Nick is just like a good guy. Like just like
Okay.
pure sweet good guy.
Talking me up too much.
That's sweet. And I just get called a baby.
Like I just all of like the things that Nick likes, I feel like it would have to be just I know he doesn't want this as a tattoo and I don't want to do it as a tattoo,
Okay.
but I feel like it would just be like the hunting or like landscape, like black and gray realism.
Oh,
like-
that's a good one.
Just because that's just like a lot of guys that are like Nick will get that kind of tattoo.
All
like
right.
Where it's like the trees.
yeah, like
And
the
the-
trees and the mountains
Okay.
and the
Which those tattoos
The-
those ones do look good.
The
Yeah.
elk and the
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. What about Lindsay? I know you don't know Lindsay like
Yeah,
super
super
well.
I know it's hard because I already know like what tattoos she
Yeah.
has.
Okay.
Um,
So she's like a Pinterest board. Or
I know.
basic white girl.
Right? Yes,
She's
100%.
like a French
But
vanilla.
you're about to become not so basic
Yes, that's
in
right.
a few months.
I
Yes.
cannot wait. I was begging
Yeah.
Jaiden for months.
And I literally texted her. I was just like, "How do I book this?" How
The
does this work?
second he started working with you, I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo. He was like, just wait.
The thing is, Lindsay jumps into her tattoos.
It's true. It
She
is.
cannonballs.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
am.
like,
I am.
don't you want to like sit on it?
I'm an impulsive decision maker.
That's okay as long as you're happy
Yeah.
with like as long as you're not an impulsive decision maker that feels a lot of remorse
Oh yeah,
afterward.
that's true. I feel like I like
So
all my tattoos.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What am I?
Wait, she didn't say what I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
I
she
said
said
you were a
Pinterest or
basic
basic.
white
You
girl.
said
Yeah.
that.
Basic white girl.
Oh,
Okay.
Jaiden. Yeah, Jaiden, I'm feeling like bad that I don't know anything that you like or anything that you do, even though I've known you for like several
That's
months.
the real
now.
test of this fortune telling is like. But if you just saw me walking down the street and you're like, that's the vibe.
Personally, I could see it being the traditional Japanese.
Oh.
That
Oh,
would
yeah.
be rad. Yes.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Actually, yes. Now that you say that, I'm like totally.
I'll tell you what I would
He
like.
could. Do you secretly like anime?
He
Or
likes.
no.
He's.
Or
kind
are
of
you
a
like are you a gamer?
I'm more like I have nerd tendencies
Okay.
where it's like,
Tendencies.
yeah,
I
like,
like that.
like,
He really likes
I
Marvel,
love Marvel.
like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah,
Okay.
like fantasies, Harry Potter, you know,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I like that, but I don't know. Like
Also-
the anime, like I've kind of started getting into it. Like I started watching Attack on Titan and like some of those, but yeah, I don't know. The issue with me is I feel like I'm complex. You know?
Well, Japanese traditional is very
Yeah.
complex.
I know. And
There's a lot
Cool.
of rules and it's really cool.
But we can cut this out. We can do. But can a white guy get Japanese traditional?
So, I'm not an expert on this.
Okay.
So, here's what I know. Here's what I've read and
Yeah.
what I've tried to understand. I've never tattooed in Japanese style, not only because I don't know it, but I just feel like I don't know enough about it. But in my understanding, it's very frowned upon in Japanese culture to get tattooed, to be tattooed.
Oh, interesting.
And so, in the article that I read, it was saying that actually, when Japanese like traditional tattooing started, it was actually like more being tattooed on white people because, or like it was like the war or something, and
that makes sense,
soldiers were
yeah.
over there, and a lot of articles I've read is like it's more of like an appreciation type deal where it's not appropriating their culture because it's not their culture to even be
Interesting,
tattooed.
yeah.
I guess I don't know for sure though.
Okay.
Like I don't want to say anything wrong. It would like for myself, I might feel a little bit worried to get Japanese traditional tattoos because I'd be worried that maybe one day that
I
would
know.
change
Right.
I know.
and that it wouldn't be okay.
Right.
Or one person's not okay with it that you
Yeah,
like run
exactly.
into, and it's like,
Even just that.
what do I tell that
Yeah.
person? You know, so
Sorry, it's here forever.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's tricky, but that's basically all I know.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. We can move on from tattoos. I'm sure you're like, I'm over this. So, let's just jump into the game, I think. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. So, this game is called We're Not Really Strangers. If you haven't already, make sure to check them out. They sent us a bunch of their games. So, it's been really fun. We've actually even played this like when Lindsay's mom's in town. They have one that's like a family one, and like, so it's been awesome. So we'll just take one and you just answer it. So
Okay.
this specific one is couples based. So it'll be about your relationship. Okay. So, all right. What can we laugh at now that once felt so daunting in our relationship? Okay. So think about it. Like, what's something that you're like, man, but now you look back, you're like, why did we even worry about that? Right? So, Linz, why don't you
That's tough.
kick us off?
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like
You've never been daunted?
I'm sure I have, but I can't remember. Do you have one?
I pulled the card.
I know, but I
It's
need
the word
time.
daunting
Yeah.
that's like that kind of throws you off.
You
Yeah.
guys have never felt daunted?
Oh, I'm
Like-
sure I have, but I'm pretty chill. I feel like
I could
I'm not
name like
about
5
stuff.
last week. Where I was like, oh, man. How are we gonna, I don't know if this yard's going to get done.
I don't know. I just don't really stress about stuff.
Oh, Linz. Okay.
Or how about, I guess when we got pregnant for the first time with Royce, that was a little daunting. And then Jaiden decided to drop out of school the week of finals. And we went and
Wow.
did summer sales, so that was a little daunting.
Yeah.
But now we look
Yeah.
back and it's funny.
Yeah.
I know, I remember, because when you do summer sales, you move there,
Yeah.
right? And the day we were moving to Texas, Midland, Texas, which is like the worst part of Texas. And it was the day of my finals, so I was like, I'll take my finals, then we can start driving, right? And then I was just like, I can't do this. I don't think I'm ever going back to school. And we're moving, and Lindsay's pregnant, and if I didn't sell enough, we'd be living in my mom's basement or something, and yeah, that was daunting.
Yeah.
See,
But it's funny now.
you did
I
it.
did it. We think about all the time how poor we were back when we first got married.
Yeah,
And it's kind of funny now to think about how we couldn't afford gas and stuff.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I think we all kind of have that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back, like going through school and Rob was working, and then we had a kid, and it was just like, I remember we were more like penny pinchers, and we had an app that was like, everything went into the app. If I went to the grocery store, I had to put what
Yeah.
it was, and like, it was tough.
I was pretty bad. Like, I was very, very concerned with money.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
To the point where Nick one day had to tell me, like, you're making me feel bad. Like, you're making me feel like I don't make enough.
Yeah.
He's like, do I really need these socks?
Yeah. Oh,
I
I'm still
don't
that
know.
way. Like to this day. Yeah. Like I would be at work.
Traumatized him.
Yeah. I'd be like going to like my paramedic rides. you
Yeah.
know, like you're just going to the station, like you have to buy in the meals. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to afford this. Like $20 a round. Like,
No way.
yeah, it was a lot. But,
Yeah, that time is so funny.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were at Target. Our bank account had like $10, right? But we had like a $300 Target gift card from our wedding.
Yeah.
And we're like, groceries
Or
or a Christmas tree? And I remember like, let's just get the Christmas tree. We'll be okay. Just like the worst finance. So we were opposite of you guys. We were like,
We're horrible.
it's all right. We'll catch up someday.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, you made it.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
end
what
of
about
the-
you two? What's something that was
Man.
daunting?
Do you have something?
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm kind of along the lines of you. I stress, but not to like a degree where
Yeah.
I'm like this is not going to
Really?
work out. I'm more of an optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm the
Rob
stressor.
sometimes is like, can you not be that way right now? Like, can you just be mad about what's going
Yeah.
on? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
The first thing that came to my mind was just like everything that I used to stress about, like when I was a member of the LDS church. It's like
Yeah.
all of those things felt really daunting to me. Like, how am I gonna, make sure that my kid makes all the right decisions, or
Yeah.
like, or just feeling like stress of like, are we both being righteous enough,
Right.
and like those kind of things, and
Yeah.
we laugh about that stuff all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be like the name of this chapter in our life.
That was literally me, like, because Jaden grew up not as strict on the rules as me. And so when we were married, I was like, we need to follow every single rule that we are given, you know? And he's just like, I don't want to go to church today. I'm like, we are going to hell. So then I'm like,
Then we're not a family. Okay? You throw it all away. And I'd be like, what? Yeah. And we've talked about that like extensively lately, because it's like, that's ultimately what broke the camel's back for us, right? Was like, we lost our son Royce, and every day it was like, man, am I living up to like seeing him again? And like, that thought gets old very fast,
Yeah.
It's
right?
like a
Where it's
threat
like,
hanging over your head.
yeah, exactly. Like, we would like go to sacrament, but not go to Sunday school. And then it's like, crap, did I just ruin our chances? You know, did I just give
Yeah.
up that opportunity to be with him, right? And like, I think that just kept wearing us down more and more and more. And over time, it just was like, I can't justify that like pressure anymore, right? It finally broke. So,
Yeah.
but it is funny because like you do think about those things. But for me, I'm like, my mind hasn't really changed from when we were going to church to now. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, I feel like he's still a little bit scared, you know, to like,
That is true. That's something we could. I don't even know if let's do it. Okay, so I still have guilt, Mormon guilt,
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that's like the reason I don't have a tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, deep down inside, I'm like, but what if? You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you haven't fully like deconstructed the idea that it is or isn't true, or are you like for sure like, oh, this is not true, but you can't get rid of the guilt?
So I feel like I can get there, but then I'm like, but what if? You know
it's just
what I
something
mean?
that you were taught for so long,
Yeah.
you know? It's
Like,
just
what
hard
if
to
I'm
just,
one of the like the valiant that fall? You know, that he spoke about in the Bible, right? And like, what if I let go of the iron rod and I'm just in the darkness?
Oh my God.
I'm past feeling.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
why. And like,
I get that feeling.
yeah,
You do?
exactly. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like that at
No,
all.
second level.
Like, I feel
At
like
all.
as soon as I was like,
Yeah,
this isn't
same.
true, I was just like,
it's not true.
everything is dumb.
Right.
Like, that's
yeah.
like thinking that I'm like one of the ones that fell away. Like that just, I'm like,
Silly. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
yeah.
But Nick understands me. He gets
I
me.
get I get
Right?
it. But I do chuckle about when I think about it, and I'm like, no, it's kind of silly.
But I can relate to you in the like, I think for me, it actually took me longer. Like once I for myself found that like the religion was false, the ideas and like the morals held by the religion took me longer to like not be afraid of. So like for example, I was still like wondering if I should keep going to church just because I was like, what if like, what's gonna keep my children from having sex then and
Right.
doing
Yeah.
drugs?
Yeah. Right.
Like,
We've
Yeah.
had those conversations.
it
Yeah.
was like they're gonna do that unless they go to church, but then it just like kept cycling. It's like
Yeah.
it's impossible. But now I'm a lot, like, it took me a while to get to this point, but now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm like, it's gonna be okay.
Right.
They're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Do you still have to remind yourself of that, or is it not even a thought of like?
So I'm still worried about some things, cocaine would not be my favorite.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
He went to the extreme on that one. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, does Fletcher need
So-
to be God fearing?
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like for me as a kid, it was very beneficial.
But it's not. It's still affecting you today.
Yeah.
I know, but as a kid, you sound like Lindsay. As a kid, I was very God fearing, and like I was sticking to it. And even though like I feel like we've harped on this, but yeah, I didn't grow up like Molly Mormon, right?
Yeah.
But me personally, I was Molly Mormon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's because I was so scared, right? I've seen
Yeah.
like my dad, and it was like, "Ooh, that's scary. That's a scary world that he's in," right? And like I was like, I can never go there. And I don't know. As a kid, it kept me from like, I didn't want to do nothing. That
Yeah, but I feel like
Do you have a strong
Yes.
opinion
Well,
right now?
I do actually, because I feel like yes, that's the way you grew up, but for instance, I grew up in Colorado, and that's just what kids did. They just like experiment, And to me now, I'm like, that's not really a big deal, because if you don't do it as a teenager, you're gonna leave the church, and then you'll do it as an adult, and you feel like you know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, like we still don't drink because we're scared.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't drink?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared.
Just fine.
Right.
Yeah. And I think like you said with the tattoo thing, like, are you traumatized, from that experience?
Yeah.
And like, I think I am a little bit of just like, I don't know, because I was going to church on Sunday, but then maybe like going to the bar with my dad on Saturday, right? And
Yeah.
it was just like, where do I like,
Yeah.
where do I fit in on this?
And there's
like,
that'd
one
be
place
hard.
that seemed safe too.
yeah, exactly. And so then it was just like jarring to me. Like I'd go to the bar, right? Or like seeing like someone drunk, like was so scary to me, And
Yeah.
like, so there's just like weird things like that. Like, and I don't know if it would be good for me to drink, but I don't know, man. It's a mess.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and like, and I even said it like, it was much easier being in the church for me than being out, because I knew, like,
Yeah.
I just knew. Oh, they told me what to do. Sounds good. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's easy when it's like, these are the rules.
all
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how I
Follow the
operate. I
rules,
want to
yeah.
know the rules and the boundaries, and then I'll stay within them. And like,
Yeah.
but now it's like,
Everything's gray.
Yeah, right.
Everything's a gray area.
yeah, like,
But I don't know. I want my kids for sure to be like making choices based on like their own, for themselves
Right.
and how they feel, instead of
Yeah.
like because they're afraid.
Yeah.
I know, and that's the issue, because now my like operating is fear.
Yeah.
Like I operate on
That's
it,
your
right? And that's
system.
like what fuels me, like, and it like makes me perform better and like work harder, because I have fear, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, I don't know if that's super healthy, right? So,
Probably not.
all right, let's move on. So, okay, all right, Robin, go ahead and read the next one.
Okay. What's the most romantic thing I've done for you recently?
Oh, how sweet!
So I was to say what you've done for me.
Yeah.
Oh man. trying to think.
You sound like Lindsay.
I know.
Yeah,
me.
well-
Every time it's romantic, when I'm like, man, I must be a dud. Because she's like, oh man,
Well, it's like
I
a
don't
little,
know.
Yeah, it's a little different now because it's like,
Yeah.
12 years of marriage.
Right.
Like,
Oh my gosh, you make us sound like we're not even.
well, all right, calm down. Like you get into life and like it's just like you become like one in a way. So it's
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
think.
get it.
This is awesome.
I'd be interested to know what you have to say for me because you'd probably be stuck too. So
I can go.
Lindsay's
all right,
coming in
go,
as the
Lindsay.
savior.
She's
right
gonna
now.
save the day.
Jeez.
Well, since it's recently,
Okay.
it was Mother's Day, and I woke up and Jaiden had ordered flowers and candy, and it showed up to our door before I even woke up. He got Fletcher up for me, and then took me to a very nice restaurant for brunch.
Oh, that's
That is
sweet.
Great, yeah.
That was romantic.
I thought so.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy you more time. So, romantic. Here's the
Jaiden's
thing.
more romantic
I'm
than
the
I am.
romantic.
Yes.
Okay, I'm like, I want to be sweet
Yes.
and like cute towards Lindsay, right? But I've said that I want flowers for holidays.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, I want flowers. I want roses and stuff, right? Because I like love flowers. And so Lindsay on Valentine's Day got me some flowers.
That's so cute.
I know.
That's good.
Breaking the norms.
All right, I do got one.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I was gonna tell you. I know what I did.
Yeah.
She's like, I know what it was.
No, she did. She had a pretty good one. So for Christmas, like, she surprised me one by we're a little bit more drinker, like social drinkers.
Yeah.
But she got me a liquor cabinet.
Oh,
so I can
that's
have like someplace to
cool.
lock it so the kids can't get to it and that, and like gave me some of my favorite liquor.
Cool.
And I thought that was it, but then like one day she was just like, I like started getting stuff out to make dinner, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting dinner out," and she's like, "I'm taking you out." And I was like, "Oh, all right." I'm like, "Well, how like fancy do I got to get here?" And she's like, fancy enough." So I was like, "Okay." So I had to like make sure my shoes were right. And I had to ask her like, "Are these shoes
Had to
good?"
put on some pants.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she ended up taking me to, what was the restaurant called? I can't remember what it's called now. It's a steakhouse.
Fleming's. Is it
Oh,
Fleming's?
Fleming's.
Fleming's? No way.
Steakhouse.
That's way nice.
Yeah, and then we're like driving home. She's like, "Oh, I got one more thing. Like, I'm just getting something off Facebook Market." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Drove like to Alpine, and she's like, all of a sudden we're driving down this like dirt road, like to this farm, and she's like, "Do you know what we're doing?" And I'm like, "No." Like picking up something. And she goes, "Oh, we're gonna stay at this little farm for the night."
Oh,
And
no
I was
way,
like,
like an
"Oh,
Airbnb.
man."
That's so
I was like, "You make like I'm
cute.
the prince of the ball over here." Like, just,
The belle of the ball.
yeah,
cute.
I felt pretty good. So.
Yeah.
What was it for? Just cuz?
Yeah, that was her original Christmas gift, but so that way,
Oh, I see.
yeah, but it was on like a
Yeah.
month later, and so she was like, "Well, I had to get you something."
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. When I get two good ideas, I can't ditch one.
Yeah, which I'm not complaining.
Like, because he was like, "Oh man, I wish we had a liquor cabinet," and then I was like, "Oh, that is a good Christmas idea."
Yeah.
And so then I had to do that.
That was pretty good.
Is that what you were thinking of?
What?
You said
Oh, when-
have-
yes,
That is
yeah.
it? Okay, good. I was like, I couldn't tell if you were like,
Yeah,
that's not even it.
yeah, that wasn't what I did. Shoot.
Okay, Robin.
I mean, I feel like a copycat because Lindsay already basically said this, but Nick did take me out for breakfast on Mother's Day to Gourmandy's, which we love.
Yeah,
What's
With
Gorman?
the kids. It's just a little French
Up by your
restaurant.
dad's house, remember where we picked up those desserts?
Oh, yes. Very
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Alrighty.
That's cute.
You want to read the next one? And I can take that, Robin. Thank you.
How do you think my job affects our relationship?
Well, let me think. The house runs. I guess I'll answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lindsay, this is her job.
This
You're
is my
seeing
job.
it in real time. So, and being a mom and
Yeah.
wife, but my job,
My job or your job?
mine.
Oh, well, wouldn't I?
How do you think my job affects our relationship? Yeah. So
Oh.
you got to answer. How does my job
I
as
know.
a
How
marketer?
do you think my job?
Linz.
Okay.
Jeez. This one question's turned into 20
So
questions.
it's I answer how your job.
Affects our relationship.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't love.
Okay, here we go.
Sometimes I just don't love to be like on social media, like my face and stuff.
Okay.
So it really stresses me out. And so sometimes Jaiden feels like I should be a marketer, but I am not a marketer. So sometimes I feel a little bit of pressure. But other than that, I feel like it doesn't really affect our relationship. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Jaiden too.
That sounds like Robin's probably like, yeah, I agree. Because Robin, I'll be like, let's do this. And she's like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's how it was when we had our own business, you know, because I'm just like, they wanted to like do TikTok lives, and I am not about that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be hard.
So, but that's the thing. It's like
hard.
I just don't have the same brain that Jaiden does, and so I just
Yeah.
don't think about it the same way. So,
And I'll have to be like, you'll be fine. This will
Yeah.
be great. She's like, I can't do that one. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I do have that issue of like, if I can do it, I
Right.
impose on others like, why can't you do it?
Yeah,
It's so easy,
Yeah,
you know?
makes sense in my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, it's like, oh, that's so natural to me. And it's like, I don't get the barriers,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? But I feel like it's good because then it pushes a little
right,
bit.
I'm a little outside of my comfort zone, I guess, but still, I don't love to be so public. So I like, even with Riley Royce, they would post videos and stuff that I'm in. I don't really read comments or anything like that because I don't really care to know.
Yeah.
That makes
Smart.
sense.
Okay.
So Nick's job, how does it affect our relationship? I feel like I love Nick's job. I love that he's home for 4 days and he gets to spend a lot of time with the kids. I feel like mostly I just have positive things to say. He loves his job, so I feel like it makes him like happy. He's way happier than when he had a desk job. And recently he became a captain.
Oh, congrats.
Awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so there's like a little bit of different stressors. So I can tell when he's like a little more stressed, like having to deal with people, like he's bringing work home a little bit more than he used to, but it's not been like bad or anything. It's actually nice because then we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Before she'd be like, I don't know.
I'm like,
She
what's
was-
going
she
on
was
at work?
more
He's like, oh, it was good.
Oh, I
Typed
talked to
up
my-
some
Yeah, I
things
talked to
and-
my mom about this and this, and she's like, "How's your day?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was all right." Yeah, how your job affected our relationship.
You can be honest.
Yeah, it's different. Like,
You can be honest.
yeah, well, because like before she started working, it was like we had a good system of like coming home, like working together,
Yeah.
kids, like that type of stuff. And now, like, it's taken me a bit to get used to, like, oh, this is all on me as well, which she had to deal with it too.
Yeah.
So I feel the pain of, like, being a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I've noticed I'm still working on it, but, like, I get after my kids a little bit more. Whereas before, I was more like, hey, it's okay.
Right.
Like, we can figure this out. And now I'm like,
You're
I'm
like,
about to
Robin will
lose my
enforce the
mind.
rules.
Yeah. Yeah. So now Rob has to come home and, like, be like, you're okay.
I know.
All right. They'll be okay.
Yes.
Like, so,
And that is the hard thing, like, for Lindsay and me, like, I want to make sure Lindsay's available.
Oh, yes. I have to be available 24/7.
And so it's like, when she's like, started walking dogs or something with Rover.
Yeah, I wanted to
And
do
I'd be like,
something
but we
fun.
need to record the podcast, you know? And like, it was like, oh, you're ruining everything, you know? So it was like hard for me to like not have that availability of her like at home.
Yeah.
You
it's
know.
different.
Well,
Yeah.
I also feel like, I feel like mentally when I am home that like a lot of times I'm more distant than before I was working because I'm
Yeah.
responding to messages. I'm thinking about designs. I'm like
Yeah.
stressing about things that I didn't stress about before. And so, like Nick's really patient. He's like, can deal with anything. So, but I feel
wouldn't say
like
that.
so he doesn't like say it a lot, but I feel like there are times when he's like, okay, can you be done working now? Like,
Oh,
I can
yeah.
he won't even say it. I can just sense it. I'm
Which
like,
is so cute. Like, I'll be working and I'll be like, why isn't Lindsay telling me to stop?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she never is like, step away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Be here now, you
Well,
know?
because you wouldn't.
Stop it. It's because you don't care.
Jaiden will work till the wee hours of the night.
But it would be
Well-
nice if you were like, honey, I want to watch Star Wars with you.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Noted.
stop working?
Sure. I'll
Okay,
note.
noted.
Yeah. See, my problem is then I'm like, well, I want her to like notice that I'm feeling some way, so I usually just stop. Like, I get more quiet or whatever.
Yeah.
And
see?
so then it's like, so that way she can notice like, hey, why isn't he by me or something? Like, I don't know.
I like the
And I feel
passive
like she,
aggressive approach.
it's a little bit, yeah. And I feel like she does the same thing too. So like, we kind of get in this weird funk sometimes where we're like both that way, and we're
Yeah.
like, it's a little tough.
And that leads us to settle our debate, I think, perfectly.
Oh,
Settle our debate. It's time to take a side. Share your thoughts, no need to hide. Settle our debate.
Is
Let's hear your
sometimes the vibes in a relationship get a little weird, right? And a lot of times you're like, this will just pass, so why even like hash it out, right?
yeah.
But then it takes longer for it to pass, it seems like, right? But also, sometimes you go in too hard and it makes it worse, right?
100%.
So, for example, we were trying to figure out our yard, okay? And Lindsay,
Yes.
She
Please go
loves-
on. Oh, do I?
okay,
I'm trying to tread lightly right now.
Yeah.
so she kind of enters some scenarios already a little grumpy and on
Jaiden,
edge.
I think
Hey, let me speak my truth, okay?
Okay, but I was gonna say that's usually you because I'm usually very chill. I was ready to just let you. do
You're the one who
backyard
changed the
yourself.
plan.
Yeah, because you kept asking my opinion and you never listened to my opinion, and then you just keep asking and asking. So then I get frustrated. So then I start yelling. Okay.
So we were in the backyard, and Lindsay likes to speak in parables when we're in those situations, right? Where she's like, that line needs to be straight. And I'm like, the cement needs to be straight or the garden needs to be straight.
And I said cement 10 times. Again, Jaiden doesn't listen. It's the real issue here.
You know? And she started getting grumpy.
Yeah, because he made me repeat it multiple times.
And so,
So then I'm yelling to get my point across.
so then she started yelling at me, and I know all the neighbors were all looking.
And I don't care.
So, but I was like, do I address this outside for the neighborhood to hear and be like, okay, honey, I get that you're upset, you know? And I decided to walk away.
He had some choice words before he walked away.
As I passed by, I said, I love you.
Do you want me to tell everyone what you really said?
No. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
My thought is Jaiden was already frustrated for some reason when we build anything, or when when we were doing the lights, whatever it is, he's already at a level 10 for no reason at all. So then when he asked me for my help, he's already very frustrated with me.
It's because you go into it
I go
with
into
this
it
attitude of like,
that's because
I don't want to do this. And I'm like, we have to figure this out.
No, you're portraying that. It's because we've already tried to figure it out, and you get frustrated with me for no reason. So then I'm like, I don't even want to do this.
All right, what about you guys?
What's the settle the debate?
So the
part?
debate, I guess, is when the vibes are off. We go outside to figure out the cement. I could tell Lindsay's vibe is
No,
off.
Jaiden, 100%. It was your vibe.
Lindsay's vibe is
I
off.
literally went to take a phone call, and he's like, "You can't wait to take your phone call." I'm like, it was a 2-second phone call. I'm acting totally normal. And Jaiden's already yelling at me.
We're not going into that, Lindsay. My God.
You already did.
I was walking the line.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what
But we
wondering
talked
is-
about you guys before, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, you guys just went to
Finland.
Finland.
Mhm.
And because I was like, have you guys had any good arguments lately, right? You're like, well, in Finland. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, let's see. It was really dumb. Like,
Yeah, which is so
Like-
sad.
we don't really fight about anything major.
I will say, when we were doing house projects, there was a little bit more arguing, just because it was like,
House projects are stressful.
It's the
I
worst.
will
it'd be
when-
like, same thing. Hey, can I
Yes.
get your advice? And I would say my advice, and then it'd be like, no, that's not how this is gonna work. And I'm like, why did you ask for my advice?
And then I don't want to do it.
yeah,
So I've resorted to doing house projects by myself, and I
Yeah.
don't want Jaiden's help. And if Jaiden's doing something, he has to do it by himself.
anyways,
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So, it was just like Nick was. I spilled my coffee a little bit on the boat, and he would like make these little comments. He kept making these little comments about like.
I'm just teasing her. Like, whoa,
like-
careful. Which then the sad thing
Like,
is, I told
oh,
her,
I
like,
can't take you anywhere.
Yeah,
Like, which
and
is
then I
This is why we
spilled-
can't have nice
No, like,
things.
I spilled my coffee like
then
all
he
over
spilled
myself,
all over the boat,
and I was just
like
then
on
you
the carpet of the
reciprocated.
boat.
and she didn't say a word.
I didn't say a word,
Oh.
but only because I was already getting irritated at
My
all the
little
little
comments.
comments, because it'll be like, I don't know. I guess I'm just like, I'm clumsy or something, and I'm always like, and he's like, "Whoa, you okay there?" And like,
That's a genuine question. Are you okay?
How dare he?
Yeah.
but it was too much. It was too much, like over and over, because like we were together everywhere.
Yeah, she's so used
There's
to not
the
being
root.
like, yeah, she's so used
not
to
about
not
the
being with me now.
coffee.
She's like, oh, I
not
can't
the
handle
coffee.
you. This is how our retirement's gonna be.
Just like, no, it's just because you were making all of my clumsiness be like so apparent.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yours is much sweeter than ours.
So then I like tripped over a cobblestone or something.
I think you were brushed
And-
up against a wall.
Yeah. And I can't remember what you said.
I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" But then after
There it
no,
is
I
again.
did. And then after I was like, "Here, let's move you away from this wall," and you were like, "Knock it off!" And I was like, "Whoa,
Oh, really?
yeah."
That was the camel's
Yeah,
back.
that was it. And I was just like, all right. So then, of course, I went to my natural state of not talking.
Yeah.
After that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
He went quiet.
Yeah.
I went quiet. But then we had no like time to talk about it,
Yeah.
because like we were with my parents, and so like and then like when we got home every night, it was exhausting, and so like we didn't have like the bandwidth to like, so we would just kind of pretend like we weren't mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is worse.
Yeah.
It makes it so worth
Yeah.
So worse.
Yeah.
That's good English. But yeah, after our little cement argument,
That's my
all my employees started showing up, and then I didn't want to argue with Lindsay, but then I'm also like, I'm not just gonna sit here and act like me and Lindsay are okay.
because of that. My natural reaction is to be quiet after, but Jaiden has to solve the issue right then. But it makes me more mad.
Yeah. So I guess the debate is like, should you let it simmer down
Okay.
before you address it, or should you address it to get it over with?
Yeah.
So it's hard. This is like my mom always says, like, I hate the people that are like never go to bed angry, because she's like, the next morning you'll talk about it and you'll fix it so
Right.
fast. Like, and you'll both be like, oh, that was kind of dumb. Like, but
Yeah.
when you're still mad and then you talk about it,
Yeah.
like, you end up making it way more of a bigger deal than
Yes.
it was.
There's also the flip side of it, though, is like sometimes
It builds.
my quietness is like, I want you to address it
Yes.
first. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I've realized in my time too that it's like, I'd rather just get this over with, because like I'm so
Yeah.
done of like not talking.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just want to like have that conversation. Like, this is so dumb
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
but because for me, if I drag it on, I become more angry.
See,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm a little stubborn, and the first day I'm not ready to admit that I
Yeah.
was being dumb and wrong. So like in Finland,
Yeah, probably
if
true.
it was the first day, I wouldn't have been able to like say, I was just like, I actually love when you tease me. Like, that was so dumb. I don't know why I acted
Yeah.
that way. Like, I can't say that the first day.
That's
So-
Lindsay.
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
So I feel like you have to give it enough time before you talk about it
Yes.
to where you're not mad.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like that whole, again, I'm optimistic. And so she's like, can you just be mad?
Yeah.
And there's even sometimes where
Yeah.
she'll come to me with stuff, and I'm sure you experience it, where you're like, well, just do this. And they're like, I don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
she's like, can you just be mad? I just want to be mad for a minute. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Just be mad with me.
Don't
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
fix it right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to move on.
But I have noticed when Jaiden does wait to address it, he is a lot nicer when he waits, and he like makes a joke, and so it kind of breaks the ice. So I would prefer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, put it in the comments. Should you weigh? Is there like
A time period.
is there a, what's it called? The soup is just right.
I don't know.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Dope.
Sounds
or
like
the
a
porridge just right.
Yeah, the porridge. What's
sound
that?
like really old. right now.
Goldilocks.
Yeah, Goldilocks, yeah.
You gotta find the Goldilocks, right? Where
Yeah.
it's just right, not too soon,
Yes.
not too late. I can't believe you guys made me look dumb right there.
Hey,
All right, just kidding. Okay, that's it. We did it. A full episode.
I didn't forget about your tattoo.
Yes, that's right. I'm scared.
I bet you after this you'll be like, oh, I could do it. You're gonna be like, oh, I could do anything now.
Yeah, this is my like
It's so easy.
test the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend and tune in next Friday for the next episode. Bye bye now.
Bye bye.
Yeah, my first tattoo. I promise you guys, it wasn't clickbait. Give me a very artistic impression of a tattoo I want.
Of a guy scared to get a tattoo.
and tell them everything's sterile.
We're sterile here. So sick. Okay, you can do it.
Don't touch it, don't touch it.
Rest your
Huh?
out here.
What?
Rest your. Okay, lean forward.
Huh?
Rest your elbow out here. Your elbow.
Like
right
this?
here. Yeah, like set your arm. up
There you
right
go.
here.
Okay.
Rest.
It's like a little shot. Look at Fletcher for
And
some
you can just give this one a friend.
Very cute. See, it just tickles.
I don't even know.
Are we done?
I don't think it even did
I didn't
anything.
like that.
I don't think it.
I barely touched.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There
it is.
You
There's
saw it
the
here first.
tattoo.
We're done. Thank you. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Between Us, be sure to check out this other episode that we think you will also like.
And be sure to subscribe so that you can see all of our videos.